I'm reading it back to you just to make sure. 14xy minus x cubed minus 7y squared.
Yeah.
Perfect. So remember, we have to find fx. Then we have to find fy. And then we have to solve the system when fx is 0, fy is 0. To find fx, we are differentiating with respect to x, considering y constant. So when y is constant, means this term is gone. I do not have to use the product rule because y is constant. So 14xy prime is 14y. This, when I differentiate, I get negative 3x squared. Is this okay so far? Now I differentiate with respect to y and I consider x constant. So then when I differentiate this with respect to y, I have 14x. Now when I differentiate this with respect to y, this is gone. Doesn't have y, it's a constant, I'm differentiating, I get 0. This is negative 14y. And they have to be set equal to 0. Is this okay so far? Anyone? Okay, perfect. Next, I have to try to solve this. So what I notice is that 14y from here can be expressed or is equal to 3x squared. So I'm going to replace this, because it's 14y, by 3x squared. And let's see what happens. So this is 14x minus 3x squared equals 0. Quadratic, I will rearrange it and multiply by negative 1. So I have 3x squared minus 14x equals 0. And this is quadratic and you will have two solutions. I factor out x, I get 3x minus 14. So I get two possibilities. When x is 0 and when x is 14 over 3. Move 14 divided by 3. At this point I have to determine the y values. So when x is 0, 0 squared is 0. So 14y equals 0 means y equals 0 as well. So point A is 0, 0. I also need to determine the y value here. So what do we have? I get 14y equals 3 multiplied by 14 squared over 9. When I simplify 114 from both sides and I simplify a 3, I get 14 over 3. Look at that. So the other point is B, 14 over 3, comma 14 over 3. So at this point, I only found the points where, the critical numbers if you want, or critical points, where a max or a min could exist. But I don't know what the result would be. So we're moving on. I'm on page 3. So now we have to determine fxx, fyy, and fxy. Why? I need them in the d-test. So you'll have open notes, open book, but the d-test is fxx at the point, I'm going to put A, times fyy at the point, also A, I don't know why, this has to be consistent, minus fxy at point A and squared. And after that, I will put B in here and determine both for point B. And remember the options. If a D is 0, saddle. If D is positive, there are two options. fxx minimum, less than 0, maximum. fxx greater than 0, minimum. And if it's less than 0, no conclusion. Because the test cannot be conducted. It's not applicable. Okay, so I have to find fxx, fyy, fxy. Back to my data here. fxx, I differentiate this with respect to x, and I get negative 6x. fyy, I differentiate this with respect to y, and I get negative 14. And now fxy, fx with respect to y is 14. Good, so the d-test for 0, 0. This fxs xs at 0, 0 is 0. fyy is negative 14. I cannot plug in anything in it. Minus 14 to the second power. So this is 0, and this is a negative number. No conclusion. The test cannot be applicable. It's not applicable. Cannot be applied. Okay, next. We conduct the same. We determine the D for, what was it, 14 over 3, 14 over 3. Okay. fxx at 14 over 3. So I'll simplify by 3, and I get 2. So negative 28, right? So negative 6 times 14 over 3, and I'll simplify. So it's negative 28 multiplied by, I cannot change that, negative 14 minus, I cannot change that, 14 squared. So let's see what this is. So this is a positive number, 28 times 14, and minus 14 squared. So this is a positive number, 196. So it's a positive number. Now we have to analyze whether fxx is negative or positive. fxx is negative. It's this number. So if because it's negative, it's the maximum situation. So I was right. That's the final answer. And I can even determine the maximum. So 14 over 3, 14 over 3, point B gives a max since fxx is less than 0 and D is positive. Now finally I can determine the maximum. And back to my function, here it is. So I have 14 times 14 over 3 times 14 over 3 minus 14 over 3 cubed and minus 7 times 14 over 3 to the second power. Okay, so 14 to power 3 divided by 9, yes, minus 14 divided by 3 to the third power, and then minus 7 times 14, was it, they were all minus, yep, okay, I just been checking to see, make sure, divided by 3 and squared, I'm checking now, 14 cubed over 9, yes, minus 14 cubed over 3, yes, negative 7, yes. So I got approximately 50.81. They may not ask for the maximum, but I just wanted to show you how to determine it. So this is the function value at 14 over 3, 14 over 3. Very good problem, thank you. Is this okay? Any questions? Any questions? So is this understood? I just wanted one answer, and or if you have any questions, so I know.